The Moreton Bay Rail project has three funders: the federal government, the state government and the local government, which is the Moreton Bay Regional Council, and is a 13-kilometre rail line from Petrie to Kippa and has been around for a long time. It was mentioned in Hansard's in 1890 and then commonly called the rail to Redcliffe, and land for the corridor was purchased in the 70s, and in the intervening period has become a refuge for a lot of koalas. So that when we started this project in about 2 years ago, we assumed that there was probably 60 to 80 koalas in the corridor, and at present we're monitoring in excess of 300 koalas. So the contractor was awarded for the design and construction of the rail line to Thiess in early August 2013. The contract is administered by an integrated team from Queensland Rail, Moreton Bay Regional Council and Transport and Main Roads, and the commission for the koalaing and monitoring commenced 18 months before the contract award, and EVE were commissioned to undertake this leading research. This is a great story, something we're really proud of as a team and everybody involved in the project. I just welcome you to sit back and enjoy this leading edge research, and just shows you what can happen when you meet your social obligations in a major infrastructure project. Thank you.
All the information that we're getting, all the data that we're getting, it really helps to inform the design in terms of the location and design of underpasses, the fauna fencing, the one-way valves, all of that sort of thing. But it's been probably the greatest benefit during clearing. We've been able to plan all of the clearing programs around the densely inhabited areas, and we've been able to protect the koalas during the actual clearing, because each and every morning that we have clearing programmed, our Endeavour Veterinary Ecology koala trackers are going out with the fauna spotter catchers and identifying where the koalas are within the clearing zone. This has been really great. We can do that not only by the GPS trackers, but we've got the LX collars that show on a website where every koala is and where their movements have been overnight. So we can locate each koala, what tree they're in, tag that off and make sure that the clearing doesn't go anywhere near it. That's not only been great to protect the koalas, but it's actually helped us with the clearing program itself. We haven't had substantial delays. We've been able to move clearing into other areas if it's full of koalas, and we've been able to protect the fauna while we're doing it.
Endeavour Veterinary Ecology has been engaged to conduct a koala tagging and monitoring program, and this program includes not only habitat that's in the rail corridor but also adjacent to the rail corridor, and it involves catching all of the koalas living in that habitat and conducting a monitoring program for the duration of the rail construction project. And also we've been engaged to perform a koala translocation project for the koalas that are going to be directly displaced by the construction activities that really have no decent habitat left for them to stay in. We've got a team of koala specialists, including koala capture specialists, and what you're about to see is one of our project koalas being captured for the koala tagging and monitoring program.
The reason why we're trying to capture this particular koala is to put a LX collar tracking system on him. So what that will do is allow us to track that koala remotely without physically having to go locate it and visually sight it every single time. So what it'll do, this is a map of all of the koalas that do have the LX system on it. So I'll be able to go in and just bring up any koala's name, tap on it, it'll show exactly where it is, its current location, where it's been, it'll show its tracks, exactly where it's been, and essentially showing us what area of habitat it's using and potentially any restrictions that it's experiencing. So if you look at this particular area now, we've got 6 other koalas just in this small area, and you can actually see on that map the project area and the cleared area. 95% of the 200 koalas that we are tracking already have this system fitted to them. So we're going to climb up and yeah, encourage him to come down where he'll jump to ground and suddenly be captured by some catches on the ground. A big part of using this technique is, you notice I've got an open space behind me, so this big long pole doesn't foul behind me as I'm trying to manoeuvre him down. He's a nice big male and he's not too scared of anything, so there he goes. He's just decided, well, I think I'm going to climb away from this. I can just keep it moving now. And Brian's going to pole him down, so that went fairly well to plan. You can see there he tried it on us there a bit and we managed to get him to ground and he's successfully been captured. So he'll be off to the vet now. Yeah, he'll have his tag replaced and he'll be back out here within hours.
Once a koala's caught, it comes into the vet surgery, and every koala that comes in on the project gets a full health check at the start, and then every 6 months after that we recapture the koala and do a health check again. So at each health check it's a comprehensive examination so that we make sure that we detect all of the conditions that are common in koalas, and we make sure that when we're sending them back out in the wild that they're healthy. And we need to recapture them every 6 months to make sure that they don't get chlamydial disease, which is quite common, or if they do, that we make sure that we treat them promptly. At the comprehensive vet examination, we not only collect a bunch of diagnostic samples, but each koala gets a microchip and an ear tag, and also the telemetry devices. So that will be a collar, a radio collar, or a biotelemetry collar, and also an anklet. And we make sure that we have 2 devices on each koala so that if one falls off, which they commonly do, that we can always find the koala again and reapply that tag that's dropped off. But this project is by far the biggest and most thorough one ever done, on koalas. So we're very keen for the data to actually be analysed in depth. Yeah. So at the moment we provide a fairly, I guess, rudimentary analysis of the data, you know, the crude stuff, but there's so much other data that's embedded in what we do that has a lot of value in terms of koala health and, you know, conservation, that we're very keen for researchers at the universities to analyse and use. Yeah. And what this project shows us is that if you don't go in and measure this stuff, then what you're left with is assumptions, and those assumptions may be correct, but often they're not. And so if you're trying to design mitigation or, you know, offset measures to benefit the population, then you're really doing it with the best data possible. Or if you don't collect this stuff, then you're in the dark. So this is the transmitter that will actually go on the collar, and that enables us to find the collar if it drops off, because the GPS reading that we get from the collar is not exactly accurate. You know, we may, you know, if the collar drops off and we're just using GPS, we may have a, you know, 30 by 30 metre area to try and find this collar in. So we put this little pinger on, and that enables us to find it quickly. And it's also a backup in case they get the anklet off. So we've got a fair bit of redundancy built into the system. So the weight of these collars, particularly the electronics component, is far better than anything else on the market. But unfortunately, to balance the collar, in other words, to make sure that this part stays on the back of the koala's neck instead of sliding around by gravity to underneath the neck, we have to put a weight on. So that brings the total weight of the collar up to about 250 grams when the weight's sitting there. So it's about comparable with some of the GPS collars on the market,
So we're just going to release Carlos here. This is his point of capture. We bring him back to this same spot because this is his home range. We're going to release him in this blue gum behind me here. It's one of their favourite food trees, so let's see how we go.
He did stop and look at you and pause. Did the whole, see you later.
I hope you enjoyed that video. To me, it's just another example of how we can build a major infrastructure project and work with the community and the environment and protecting koalas, one of Australia's greatest assets. There's some great legacies that will come out of the research, some great legacies will come out of the project, and it's something that all the project team is very proud of.